you see us? Hello, everybody. How are you doing? I'll just go and check that we are live. 1 second. Fantastic. Hello, everybody, and thank you very much for joining our webinar. This is the second one that we've done now, so we can officially say, Mark, that this is not our first rodeo.
No, there's a risk of it becoming a series.
My God. Anyway, thank you for joining us. The title of this webinar is How Writing Job Notes with Insights for ConnectWise PSA Can Boost Customer Loyalty. Very snappy. We'll start by just introducing ourselves. Let's just switch this over here. We have Mr. Mark Pennington is here on my professional. On my right is Mr. Mark Pennington. He is the MD of EPX IT. Him and his clever team have won numerous awards, the Channel Futures MSP 501 Awards for 23, 24, and they've just won 25 as well, so congratulations to them. They also won Small Business of the Year 2022. Mark is also a business growth mentor and a facilitator for Evolve. Is that correct?
Correct. Thank you very much, Dave.
Fantastic.
And to my left, Dave Coleman is CTO of Insights. And Dave leads the development of Insights from a day-to-day perspective, but has also built and exited 2 software companies and technology companies in the past, as well as you kind of lead and you do automation consultancy for business in the UK as well as you are a YouTuber, aren't you? An influencer. Well, I'm not allowed to say that.
I wouldn't use that word. No. Right, let's get stuck in. So, let's just have a quick look at what we'll learn today. We'll just have a quick recap of what Insights is, in case you're watching this for the first time. We'll then have a look at why job notes are so important on service tickets. We'll have a look with the current problems that a lot of MSPs face when it comes to technicians writing job notes. And then we'll have a look at how a feature in Insights solves this particular problem. Then finally, we'll wrap it up by looking at what successful job notes actually look like in order to make your business as professional as possible. So what is Insights? Let's quickly just take a look. Let me jump over here. So you'll probably recognize this as the ConnectWise service ticket screen, and Insights lives as a pod inside every service ticket. It's basically got a suite of features that aim to save time and allow your technicians to solve tickets faster. Just have a quick look through things like auto summaries, related tickets that help you solve the current ticket that you're on. It will suggest fixes for you. We've got a nice view for the notes in the ticket as well. And then there's a few other features, but today we're going to be looking at one called job notes. We just jump back to here. Come on, computer.
I'll take lead on this, Dave.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, my IT support man. Right, so why are job notes so important? Just to make sure we're on the same page to start with, when we say job notes, we mean the notes that your technicians write as a log of the work that they've done against a service ticket. So it acts as a log of work they've done for internal people to look back at and see how a problem was solved, and also the notes that are sent to clients to keep them updated on the status of their tickets. So basically, you work very hard as an MSP owner to make your MSP mature. You put processes in place, you hire great people, and you get everything working smoothly. But basically, the technician's notes that they write and send to the customer are often the largest touch point that your client has with your MSP. And therefore, no pressure, job notes are a reflection on your MSP, which is why they need to be done right. Job notes obviously keep clients informed on the status of their problems and how they're being fixed. But, there's a big but, we found across all the MSPs that we work with, technicians generally don't like writing job notes. Because technicians, they do the job because they like solving problems and they're good at solving problems, and writing job notes is usually seen as boring admin. So what are some of the problems that we see with job notes that people leave in ConnectWise? So there can be a lack of detail in the notes, and That can be around internal notes. It might not include all the information about a fix. So if someone was to look back in the future, they might not be able to tell exactly how a problem was fixed. And also, if a ticket gets escalated, i.e. passed from a level 1 technician up to a senior technician, and they haven't recorded what they've tried, even if it hasn't worked, you're in danger of the senior technician recreating that work and wasting time. So it's important to record what hasn't worked as well as what has worked. Sometimes there's completely missing steps or missing notes because it's really easy to get sidetracked when you're doing this job. The phone's ringing, you've got other tickets coming in, you've got colleagues asking you for help on other tickets. So it's sometimes you just get information straight up missing because you forgot to put it in. Sometimes clients might get vague replies. There might not be enough information on there to keep them updated on what's happening with the ticket, so they might not feel a sense of closure. In some cases, there might not be any replies to clients, and this could be if, for example, the ticket's not fixed yet and the technician's waiting for a reply from a vendor or something else to happen that's outside of their control. Now, we encourage as best practice for them to leave a note at that point sent to the client just to say, I've done this, I'm waiting, because without that, the client doesn't know that anyone's working on their problem and they can be frustrated. Sometimes you might get notes to clients that are just full of really heavy jargon, and that can confuse them or maybe even intimidate them if they don't really know what's going on. So it's best to pare those kind of notes back and keep them a bit more simple. And then finally, inconsistency among technicians. So some people, they write essays for their notes, other people will write a one-liner. And then, of course, some people are great at writing and some people aren't so great at writing. They might not be great at spelling or grammar. And again, the notes reflect on your MSP, so it's important to get these looking good. So how does Insights solve this? Let's jump across and take a look. So back in Insights here, I'll just go back to the job notes in here that's on the left-hand side in the menu. Now, the basic idea here to get around the problem of information missing is we encourage technicians to capture as many notes as possible as they do them. So the main thing that you do with ConnectWise is you finish your work and then you'll type up all the notes of everything that you've done and then insert it into ConnectWise in one go. What we encourage is recording line by line everything that you do as you go, because everything that's stored in here is persistent. So if you were to leave the ticket and then come back again, those would still be there. So it's easy to remember what you put. You don't have to. Everything's already there. So there's 4 main sections on here. You've got the area where you type your job notes in. You've got a to-do list and an area for notes up here. Then you've got all the things that you've done as you go, and then there's a next step. So, for example, this ticket, just have a look what this is about, Outlook search not working. So I've filled in a few here to save time of things that might have been tried. And then we can put another one in, something like scan PST in Outlook. And then we'll add that into the list here. So if that's fixed it, we might say, we can go back in here and edit it and say, this fixed the problem. I will put a typo in there to demonstrate a feature later. And then if the next step would be to close the ticket, we've got some presets up here. So you can just click in there and say close ticket. So once you're happy with all the work that you've done, you just click on generate job notes and it writes it into this standard format for you here. So you can see it's filled in the situation. So Insights has filled that in by reading the ticket and figuring out what it's about. So you haven't had to type that in. It's put all the notes of everything you've done here, and you can see it's fixed my typo. So everything here is spell checked and grammar checked. So that ups the level of communication right away. Obviously, we're looking at an internal ticket here, so it doesn't matter that much, but it's nice to have nice things spelled everywhere. And obviously, if you're searching for things in the future, having things spelled properly is important. So once you're happy with that, you can click on Insert Note or Time Entry here, and it copies it up here into this box. So this box is basically just like the one you get into ConnectWise to insert time entries or notes. Obviously, anything in here can be edited before you put it in. And then What we'll do, we'll just switch over to time entry. I'll put a few minutes back on that. We won't want to email the customer, and it's already set to internal. So what this means is it will go into ConnectWise. Because it's internal, it will never get emailed to the customer. So these notes can be jargon. That's kind of what you want to show how it was done. So if we just choose to add that time entry, on confirmation screen, you can just check over everything you've done, insert, and then it will pop it in, and it appears here underneath the list of other notes. So it just kind of like carries on the conversation. Now, the next thing, and this is where we start really saving some time, is that each note, you can click on it and you get this button here, Write Detailed Customer Email. So once you clicked on that, Insights looks at everything you've done, and it basically turns all of your jargon-heavy internal notes into a friendly, customer-facing email ready to go that just says, in simple words, what you've done, whether it was fixed. Please get back in touch if you need any more help. So here, again, you can just type in whatever you want. That normally puts the technician's name in, but I'm not a technician on this ticket, so it hasn't. And then if you use standard notes inside ConnectWise, they're all here. So you can just add things like feedback request straight in. We'll pop that back over to note. We'll say it's discussion, email the customer, add that in, and there you go. That's gone into ConnectWise. It's gone via their API. So that will now email that to the customer as if you've added it through the Insights insert window. So they'll get the list of all the previous discussions as well. Let's see, what else do we have to show you in here? Let me get rid of some of these. If you joined us for our webinar last month, you'll remember that it was about the suggest fixes. So basically you press this button here, Insights reads all the notes on the ticket and the problem, and it brings this up for you. So it shows that it knows what the problem is. It looks through the ticket notes and it looks at things that have already been tried, and then it takes those into account and suggests more things. So the more things you try, the more it has to go on and the more specific and in-depth it gets with its suggestions. So you can see when we hover over each of these, we have a button that says Add to Notes. So if a technician's pressed this button and they're looking at the possible fixes, you might just scan down that list and see, oh yeah, actually, I like the sound of that. I'll try that, and I will try that. So having clicked that, if we go back to job notes, we can see that those have appeared in the to-do section. Now, when you hover over each of those, you get the How button again, which shows you a step-by-step guide on how to do that particular suggestion. And then as you go through and you try these things, you can tick them off and it moves them into the done area. I'll add the close ticket again onto there. And then when you generate job notes, it writes that for you in the same format again, and you haven't had to type any of that in. That's all come from Insights from the system itself. You go back through the same process, you'd add that as an internal note, you get it to rewrite for the customer, and then it would go straight into ConnectWise. Now, if you, let's see, have I done this already? If it's something that you use all the time, then you can pin it. So like every feature in Insights, there's a little pin icon up here, and that'll put the insert box right on the main screen of Insights. So you don't even have to go into the menu. Everything you do, just type a line in there, press enter, and it's added, ready to write your job notes later. Right then, that's basically the demo of things that I wanted to show you. Let's just jump back to our presentation over here. So what does successful job notes look like? What have we done here? So they're consistently formatted. It writes everything in the same way. So no matter who does the job note, they all look the same. It fixes spelling and grammar, so it eliminates the potential for technicians who have trouble spelling or writing. It promotes capturing all the details, so you get around that problem of things being forgotten when you need to go at the end of your work and put it into ConnectWise. The tone is professional and customer facing, so again, it just sets a standard for the level of communication that goes out to your customers. It turns jargon into easy to understand English to explain things so customers aren't confused or intimidated. And overall, it saves time, which basically it allows engineers to focus on the things that they like doing, such as engineering. Even if you save 3 to 4 minutes on every ticket, the idea is that it mounts up over the weeks and the months into significant time savings or capacity generation, which gives your technicians time to work on more things. And finally, with all that in place, it leads to improved customer satisfaction. They get updates when they need them, they know what's going on, there's no typos or spelling errors in them, and ultimately that can lead to more customer retention. I will now, oh no, not quite passing over to Mark just yet. So if you're watching this and you don't use Insights currently, if you're a new client, we offer a 2-week completely free trial, and you don't even need to put a payment card in. You can get everything up and running. You have unlimited access to all the features with Insights, and you can install it with as many technicians as you like and just give it a good hammering and make sure that it's for you. There's also a simple setup and onboarding wizard. All that you need is admin rights for ConnectWise to get into the setup tables in order to install it. And you can do that via our website, insightsmsp.com, or you can scan that code there and it'll take you straight to the sign up page. And if you're an existing client, then we will offer to schedule refresher training with you at any time that you want. If your team would like to go over it again and all the options that are available, especially maybe after an update, then it's a great time to be shown how to use it again and the right time to use it. And also we have a champions program. People that hammer Insights, we track the usage, we invite them to join our champions program, and that basically that we've got a separate pod called the Canary Pod where we test new features. And you get access, if you're in the Champions program, to these new features before anybody else, and you can give feedback and help shape the future of Insights. Now I'm going to pass over to Mr. Mark Pennington.
Perfect. Thank you, Dave. So one of the things that we are very conscious here at Insights is, as an MSP owner, have been for over 20 years, I'm very conscious about new shiny tools are great, but I have got overwhelming experience where we've implemented new tools or bought new tools, installed them, and they've seemed great, but actually what you get out of them hasn't been what we've hoped. So what we really do with the MSPs that come on board with Insights is really work with them on how to best implement Insights as part of their MSP. So how we do that is we work with MSPs during onboarding to implement what we class as best practice suggestions. They're not requirements, they are just what we have figured out and developed over the last couple of years working with MSPs while installing Insights of what can we do to make sure we're getting the best from this tool. So what we've developed is the best practice suggestions, and we've got a video recording of that, and it talks about all the aspects that go into actually implementing a tool like Insights, what you can do to promote its use, and how to get the best value out of it. So if you go to the QR code on the screen, it will take you straight to the website, or straight to the web page where the video's there, and it has all the downloads that we have as well. And the agenda for that video is as follows. It'll look at your ticket handling process. How do you incorporate Insights? And how do you show your engineers when to use and not use the features of Insights? And that's got downloads to examples of how to actually incorporate that. It'll talk about KPIs for best-in-class service desks. So what are the key metrics that we see are the best when you're actually trying to deliver an extra customer service, and what are the metrics that you can use to drive adoption of Insights within your MSP. We'll then be looking at accountability and adoption. How do you make sure that actually when you are implementing this, you are making sure the team are using it and using it in the right ways? And then finally, we'll summarize and give you clear next simple steps on how to actually implement this. So there is a video on that. We're happy to jump onto a call with any MSPs as well to actually talk this through one-on-one as well. So have a look at the website and see what you think. And if there's any questions, please let us know. Thanks. I realised as well, actually,
I've just seen.
You won't be able to see it because the QR code is hidden behind our faces. So I will make sure I do that better next time.
If you'd like a link to that video, just pop in the chat or send an email to hello@insightsmsp.com, or it's easy to find on the website.
Perfect. Right. Sorry about that. I'll make sure I know that for next time. Brilliant, thank you. Next, I want to talk about the potential return on investment. Now, we do have a picture of our ROI calculator that you can go on to insightsmsp.com/pricing and put your own numbers and figures in there of your own MSPs and see what the potential savings are. But what I want to do is just give you some typical return on investments that we get. So we're typically seeing on average anywhere between 8 and 10 minutes per ticket saved in time. Now, that's an average overall ticket. Some tickets you won't need insights. Some tickets you'll use insights heavily to save time, right? Lots of emails, especially tickets which are quite long and maybe that they've been escalated, they've been in the system for a while. So it can save a significant amount of time. We do see it does increase the first time fix by a first line team. So our goal is purely to help first line engineers self-serve, pick up tickets and solve it in the first instance that they pick up those tickets. That's our goal. That's what we aim to do with Insights. And we find that by doing that, you're reducing your escalations, increasing your first time fix rate and closing tickets off quicker, as well as actually training your first line team to be more effective. It's quicker onboarding for new techs as well through that self-serve because we're funneling the information of previous tickets straight to the engineers. We're finding that new engineers that are coming on that might not be familiar with your client setups, might not be familiar with your tech stack, or might be actually new to the industry. It might be apprentices or entry-level members of your tech coming into the team. What we find is with the ticket handling, with the best practice suggestions of how to implement insights, that really aids and helps those new techs get up to speed, self-serve, figure out what they do, what they need to do, and get them more productive quicker. So to give you a bit of a typical saving that you could see, if you have an MSP with 15 engineers, and we are being ultra pessimistic here, and they're just saving just 2 minutes per ticket, assuming they close 20 tickets a day, which is typically what we would see within MSPs in the UK and within my own MSP, 20 tickets a day, you've got a potential capacity saving across those 15 MSPs of around about £3,500/$4,200 per month of savings or capacity creation with a team of 15. But again, there is a calculator we can go on and you can put on how many engineers you have, how many tickets they're closing per day, how much they cost, and how many minutes you think Insights could save your engineers per ticket. So have a play about it, see what you think. And finally, what is actually the cost and investment of Insights? Now, Insights' standard pricing is £250 or $300 per month per block of 5 engineers, and we do a block of 5 engineers. Now, we do a specific special offer to Evolve members. We are Evolve members ourselves and have been for 7, 8, 9 years. We love Evolve. If you are an Evolve member, there is an offer there for £250 per month or $300 per month per branch, and that's for unlimited engineers. So if you've got one branch, it's just a flat fee for everyone within your organisation to use Insights. And again, typically based upon the 2 minutes per saving, 2 minutes per ticket of time saved, there is a capacity creation per 5 engineers of around about £1,100 or $1,400 for that, based upon what we're seeing at the moment.
And it's really pessimistic.
That's pessimistic. We like being pessimistic. And we also have a guarantee. So as well as a 2-week free trial to see if you think it's right within your organisation, we understand that 2 weeks doesn't give you enough time to really get your teeth into it. It's more of a taster just to see if you think it's right. We offer a 2-month free guarantee. So that gives you time to implement on board and really embed Insights into your MSP. And after 2 months, if you feel like it's still not giving you the value that you hoped for, what we're demonstrating here, we'll give you all your money back on that guarantee.
Can't say fairer than that.
You can't, can you? It's amazing. So you can go to insightsmsp.com/sign up and start using Insights within 20 minutes. It's really simple, self-serve sign-up system, isn't it?
We work really hard on the sign-up wizard, so you'll have no problem with that.
No problem with that. So perfect. Right. So we've got a bit of a Q&A section. I have my laptop. I'm just going to pull my laptop up here. So I'll ask some questions. Dave, being a bit of the tech lead, can probably answer some of them. So let's have a look.
Hopefully. No pressure.
Right. So there's a couple of questions here. Right. Okay. So we noticed that there are notes stored on the tickets as to-dos. Are they engineer specific or can they be shared between engineers?
The ones that haven't been inserted yet are engineer specific.
Okay.
So each engineer would see their own ones in there until they're inserted into ConnectWise.
Okay. So if someone builds out a to-do list at the moment, that's individual to that engineer, doesn't share between engineers.
Correct.
Fine. Cool. That's fine. That makes sense. Okay. Perfect. So does this feature fully replace ConnectWise's Add Notes feature?
Yes, pretty much. Yeah. We've designed it to match all of the things that are in there. Yes.
Yeah, so I think to expand on this question and Dave's comment there. So what we really designed Insights to do is we're trying to condense a lot of the pods within the tickets, within the ticket screen. And what elements do the engineers use? So we've tried to incorporate it within Insights. And the view on that is really refine and just streamline as much as we can the engineer interface and experience to keep them on point, present the information as and when they need it, and also then incorporate all of those features like write the notes, and it just drops it straight down. So we incorporate basically everything the engineer needs to do straight within that pod to avoid distraction and moving around the system too much.
That's a much better answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very much. Someone's asking here, are we able to write in different languages? I'm assuming this is for if a user. I'm going to assume it's if a user speaks a different language. Does it change languages?
Yes. Yes, it will convert it all.
It will convert it into different languages.
Yes. Well, convert it into English. So if you were to type in all your notes in French,
it will convert it to English.
Yeah,
but at the moment, I don't believe, correct me if I'm wrong, it doesn't convert it from English to another native language of that user.
No, but that is on the roadmap.
That's on the roadmap. Yes, it's something that we have had feedback from other users where they are working with clients where English isn't their first language, and actually it's something where actually it would be quite nice if we're able to add notes in English, but then it's being communicated with your users in their native language, and then vice versa. When it comes back in, can we translate that on your behalf straight into English? So that's something that's on the roadmap at the moment.
Yep.
Perfect. Those are the questions I have at the moment. I don't think there's any other questions at this moment in time.
Thank you,
from what I can see. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to email us at hello@insightsmsp.com. Sorry, apologies for that one. And we'll answer any questions for that. That's no problem at all.
And also, before we go, hot off the press news, Insights for the MSP Channel Awards are finalists for AI Innovation of the Year among industry giants.
Yeah.
So we'll be putting a post on LinkedIn about that soon, but that is a massive honour, and we are very, very proud of that.
Yes, I'm very excited for that one. So, yeah, perfect.
Right, let's just cover this. We'll go back to the presentation, and I think I've got one without us there. There we go. Join us for our next webinar. It won't be feature focused, but it will be more of a kind of thought leadership webinar. So we're getting more involved in that. And it's going to be the AI-powered MSP, practical ways to leverage AI today. Now, that's a big topic. There's a lot to go into, but we're going to be sharing everything that we've learned when it comes to putting AI into a business and what you should and shouldn't be doing. So it's going to be value-packed. Scan the QR code to register for that webinar now. Don't miss it. It's great. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about on this one. And that is going to be on the 20th of November. So just over a month from now, same time as this one, 3 p.m. British summertime. It won't be British summertime then, will it?
No.
It'll be 3 p.m. GMT, which is 9 a.m. Central Time or 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And one last time, you can get a trial of Insights by going to insightsmsp.com. And there's you can either go /sign up, or there's a link straight to it there. You can sign up in less than 20 minutes and be up and running in no time.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Really appreciate your time. We appreciate that time is precious. Again, if you've got any questions, please reach out to us at hello@insightsmsp.com, and we're happy to answer any questions there. And that is us finishing bang on time. It's almost like we've done this before.
Right, let me just find the screen and we can turn it off.
Thank you very much, everybody. Speak to you soon, hopefully.
Thank you. See you. Bye-bye.